The best way to experience the Finnish archipelago is to drive or cycle the Archipelago Trail, also known as Archipelago Ring Road. The route starts at Turku. Turku served as the capital of Finland in the Middle Ages. At those times Finland was under Swedish rule and Turku was the second largest city in the kingdom. The Finnish archipelago is in its most parts bilingual and the islands have two names, Finnish and Swedish. The ring road is about 250 kilometers long and takes you from one island to another over bridges and ferry crossings, which are free of charge. It is possible to cover the route in one day, but the advice is to set aside 2 or 3 days for it. However, I have only one day, so I decided to ride only part of the route. I'll see how far I can get. The route can be downloaded from the internet as a GPX file, which I imported into my navigation app. first stretch from Turku to the island wasn't really very beautiful, but from the moment I crossed the bridge, the landscape became increasingly attractive. The reason is likely that I didn't start at the original starting point, the Turku Cathedral, but from the address where I have a room. My first stop was in Nagu. The stone church was built in the 15th century, but there was most likely a wooden church there before that. I took the photos of the interior in the afternoon on the way back, because a funeral service was taking place in the morning. From Nagu I added a small detour to get a bit closer to the coast. This turned out to be along a kart track that ended abruptly at the fence marking a private road. Turning Tricity around there was a bit tricky. Part of the route was on an unpaved road, but the surface was hard and easy to ride on. Because I didn't want to ride exactly the same route on the way back, I had added a detour as well. However, the unpaved road had just been resurfaced with a layer of pebbles, on which Tricy's tires had virtually no grip at all. After a few hundred meters, I turned around here too, as I didn't want to risk a fall. After visiting the church and cemetery in Korpo, I started the return journey. Although I suspect I haven't seen the most beautiful part of the archipelago route, the stretch I rode was already very worthwhile. It was a pity that it was cloudy, because I think it would be even more appealing in the sun. The only downside I found was that you ended up in a queue with other road users after leaving the ferries, and there were hardly any parking spaces along the road. After the ferries and the bridge, I was welcomed in Turku, where it started raining just as I parked Tricity at the apartment.